Hi, this is Jeff and Pat with the Star Herald. I'm speaking today with Chuck Heeman, the owner of the Pioneers and the new Hoop It Up League. Tell me a little bit about how you guys decided to come up with or to start a Hoop It Up League.
Yeah, it's something and weirdly enough, we actually committed to doing this about this time last year, which of course is right when the pandemic hit. So, kind of set us back some. But you know, when you're in this business, these opportunities come across your desk every so often. And I got a random email one day from the Hoop It Up program. It's a national program. It's owned by Kevin Garnett, the basketball player. And I remember when I was younger, maybe much younger, because I'm all beat up now. I lived in Dallas, and I played in Hoop It Up tournaments. They used to have a national tour that went around, and they would set up in arena parking lots and have like hundreds of teams, and just it was a blast. I did this for 2 or 3 years in a row when I lived in Dallas, and I remember how much fun it was. And so this came across my desk, and I started talking to these guys and looking into it, and obviously we're not going to be at the level that was.
Yeah.
But it works out really well because it's 3-on-3 basketball. It's very fast paced. The games are only 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's you play, you sit for a minute, you play again. But it's fun, and it's something that we're going to do here at the beginning on a youth level. We're starting with boys and girls 12 and under league. We hope that this will grow into something where I've already had people ask us about adult leagues, co-ed leagues, college age kids, and what we're going to do for this first set of leagues in April and May is 12 and under, so that we can get it right. We can get our procedures right. Make sure people know the rules, things like that. So we've gotten really good response. So this thing came across my desk. I started talking to the national organization, and so what we did is they were offering licenses for areas.
Oh.
So we purchased a license for Western Nebraska. So it's something that we get bored. We only play baseball 10 weeks a year, so we don't have anything else to do the rest of the year. So it's a good chance to do something fun for the community, something that maybe isn't there, fills a niche for some youth sports. Get them out of the house a little bit. So we started putting it together, and we found that we got some really good response. So now we're having been delayed by almost a year with COVID, we're kind of diving back into it now. As the restrictions are easing up, it's making it easier for us to do that. So once we get this one going, we'll start adding more and more. And we worked with the Carpenter Center on doing it there. We originally were going to do it at the outdoor Runza courts. And with the spring weather, you never know. So we're going to do this inside, and we'll do a combination of this. We're already looking at some late summer, fall leagues outside for adults and things like that. So, when the opportunity came, it was something we wanted to try. It wasn't a huge financial investment, so it's like let's give it a shot. But we've had a really good response.
Yeah. And how did you settle on the 12 and up age group? Was it where you had the most response?
Exactly. That's what it was. We put it out there to some people around the community who kind of are involved in youth basketball, and I got some advice from them because this isn't quite our niche yet. Baseball's our niche. We have college baseball down pretty good, I think. So it's like, okay, what do you people think? What's going to work that we can get this thing going successfully? And we kind of settled on the 12 and under because some of the older kids, once they get done with school basketball, then they're into travel baseball and they're into some travel things. The younger kids don't have that option really. So this is a good chance for them to do something sports related for 6-7 weeks before school gets out.
Yeah, and like you'd mentioned too, I played in a couple of their tournaments in Philadelphia. In the Navy Yard. Is that something you guys are looking at too, is doing a tournament at some point?
Absolutely. Well, this will turn into, assuming it goes well, we'll do a couple of yearly tournaments, and if you've done it, I did the same thing in Dallas where they have slam dunk contests, they have skills competitions, they give away cash prizes, and we want to build it into that. Right now, like I say, we're just going to start with this, get this right. Yeah. Make sure that we do, this is a proving ground for us.
Yeah.
They have Hoop It Up has a really good operations guide, how to do this correctly. The rules are there. You know, and one thing that they pointed out was that 3-on-3 basketball is going to be an Olympic sport starting this year. So the 3-on-3, and people have probably seen there's 3-on-3 leagues that there's a league that has retired NBA players.
Yeah, the one that Ice Cube started.
Yeah. And so it's a growing thing, and I like it because it's fast paced.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun for the kids. They don't get bored sitting there for 3 hours, you know, running back and forth, and everybody plays. There's can only have 5 people on a team. So we want to build it into where we're having weekend tournaments where we can get regional people in here, which will, as the Pioneers do, helps tourism.
Yeah.
People will come in from Colorado and eastern Wyoming and different parts of the state here and stay for the weekend in hotels. We want to build it into that. So we're starting with this, hoping to grow this, and this is something we would do in the off season when the Pioneers aren't playing.
Yeah,
because we're a little busy in the summer.
Yeah, and I remember too the tournaments I played in were half court. Is this going to be a half court game as well?
Half court, 3-on-3 is half court. So what we'll do at Carpenter Center on their full court, on one half court we'll have the girls league, the other half court we'll have the boys league. Have them both going at the same time. I'm trying to get referees. I was advised to kind of look at some varsity basketball players who either need some volunteer hours or we can do a contribution to the program. So it's all coming together really well. So yeah, half court, 3-on-3, first team to 20 wins, but there's a 20-minute limit. 10 minutes between games. Teams will play a game, sit for 10 minutes, play another game. So they're there for an hour and 15 minutes every Saturday. So it's not a big time commitment. I'm excited to get this thing going. Like I said, we've been sitting on this thing for about a year. We've tried to do it a couple times, and COVID shut us down. Really excited to get it going.
Yeah, and if I remember right too, the scoring is 1s and 2s, right? Like
Correct.
3-point line.
Correct. A regular basket's 1. If you make it past the 3-point line, it's 2. So first team to 20 wins. Yep.
And you know, you mentioned you're looking for referees. What about, have you guys started taking registrations yet?
Yeah, actually, I checked it this morning before we came in, and our girls league, there are eight teams, and obviously if we get more demand, we'll grow it. 8 teams in each league. So the girls team now has 3 teams registered. The boys team has also 3 teams registered, and a couple of individuals that will place on a team. So. You know, a couple people have helped us get the word out in the last week or so since we've announced it. So I feel really good that this thing's going to take off.
Yeah. What's the registration fee, and where can people go to sign up?
You can go to the Pioneers website, wnpioneers.com. There's a little link there that says 3-on-3 to walk you through the whole thing. For a team, it's $425 for 5 players. Individuals, it's $90. So you get 14 games guaranteed. You get a jersey that you can keep at the end of the league, and hopefully you get a lot of fun out of it.
Yeah, and you know, at the end of the season 2, do you guys have like a playoffs or anything like that?
So what we'll have is 5 weeks of games, 2 games a week, and then we'll have a playoff series on the last weekend. So you know, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to get it going. It's something, like I said, it's something we've. As soon as I really fleshed out the details of it about a year ago, the pandemic hit us.
Yeah.
So it's like, I really want to do this, really want to do this. Tried it a couple times, and it's like, oh, well, wait a minute, you can't do this. You know, but now that restrictions are easing up, I've worked with Matt over at the Carpenter Center, and we've got what I think is a really good program going and something we can really build on.
Oh, and the other question I forgot to ask too, is that indoor courts or outdoor courts?
Indoor courts.
Indoor.
Yeah, because the weather's so iffy.
Yeah.
You know, we're starting April 10th, and you just never know. Once we get into the late summer and early fall, we have such great weather. We'll probably do a combination of outside and inside, depending on demand. If we have enough leagues, I know there's those outside courts, the Runza courts at our Carpenter Center are used pretty heavily, and it's a really nice facility. So. What I hope to do in the fall is do a combination of adult and youth leagues and use both facilities.
Yeah, and I forgot to ask too right now, how many leagues are you planning to run a year, or seasons, I should say?
I think it depends on demand. You know, you get to a point where you're biting off more than you can chew, and I don't want to do that because I want to do this right. I want to make it fun for people. It's like the Pioneers, you know, we could throw a lot more out there than we do, but you have to look at the execution of it. You want to make sure you do it well. And we've been in situations where we've bitten off more than we can chew. So with Hoop It Up, it really depends on demand. I could see us doing an adult men's league, a co-ed league, you know, 14U, 12U, you know, maybe a 16U. But I don't want it to get into situations where it's something where we can't manage.
Yeah.
You know, because we're a small staff, and you know, while we love what we do, we don't want to be all day every day,
Yeah.
and to where things are messing up. So and a lot of it does depend on demand. You know,
Yeah.
if we get enough people to do an adult co-ed league, we'll do an adult co-ed league. So I feel really good that this is a good starting point for us, and the response we've gotten in the last week or so has really kind of shown us that this is something that's got a niche that we can fill.
Okay, I'm sure we touched on this before, but what's the starting date for the league?
For the 12 leagues, the starting date is April 10th on Saturday, and it'll run through May 15th.
And
Yeah.
sorry, what's the registration deadline?
Registration deadline, we want to do April 2nd, and it's all on the website because we want to make sure we get everybody's jerseys ready to go, teams assigned, and the schedule done. So that'll give us a week to do that. So April 10th will start. It goes from 1 o'clock till about 6 o'clock every Saturday for those 6 weeks.
All right.